Trisha and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little bugged out planters. These are made by recycling plastic bottles. So let's get to crafting. Alright, so we want to start off with some empty bottles here. These are all plastic bottles. We're going to recycle them. We're also going to be using their lids. So it really doesn't matter what size you choose. You can use like a 2-liter size also. We're also going to be using some acrylic paint, and you can just choose the colors of your choice for the critters that you choose to paint. We're going to use some paint brushes, and we're also going to need some paper so that we can protect our surface. Okay, we're also going to be using some little googly eyes, or you could just paint them on. I'm also going to be using a marker, so I'm using a Sharpie here, or you can use a pen to mark your items. And for cutting our plastic bottles, we're going to be either using some scissors or a craft knife. And to put our cute little containers together, we're going to be using a hot glue gun with obviously some hot glue sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this one at the bottom here. I'm going to use my craft knife to get started. It's very sharp, so I want to be careful. Now once I've made a bit of a cut into my plastic bottle, I can use my scissors and just cut off the rest. Okay, and then we want to cut off about 5 inches or so. So I'm just going to cut right about here. You could mark it with your Sharpie. Okay, so this piece, I'm just going to cut right through it. And then on the other opposite side, cut it in half. And then cut that piece in half. And this piece in half. Okay, so now I want to cut the top part off of my little bottle. Just start it off. If you want to mark it with your Sharpie, go right ahead. And then just kind of go back around it. And just make sure it's so nicely cut. You don't have any little sharp edges of the plastic. Just make sure that it's all been cut. So there we go. Okay, so now we're going to take one of these plastic pieces, and we're going to take our Sharpie, and we're just going to draw like an oval, almost like a leaf, as wide as the piece of plastic is. It doesn't have to be perfect, just like that. And then we're going to cut around that. Okay, so now I want to repeat this shape with the other 3 pieces so that I have 4 wings. Alright, so now I'm going to be painting the parts of my little critters. I've actually gone ahead and I've cut a larger bottle, so I have one that's a little bit taller. I'm going to turn that one into my bee, and these are the wings for my bee. And then the little short one, I'm going to do a little ladybug, and here are the wings for my ladybug. And of course, I've got a cap for each one of them. So for my bee, I'm going to paint it all yellow. So I'll start off by grabbing some yellow paint, and then just painting my bee. And you're going to put a coat on it, let it dry, and if you have to, come back and give it another coat. Once I'm done painting this body yellow, I'm going to paint this one in red, and I'm going to paint all the wings for my ladybug in red as well. But I'm going to paint the wings for my bee in white, and then I'm going to paint the 2 little caps in black, which are going to be the little faces. And I'm also going to use the black to do some polka dots on the red of my ladybug. So I'll continue painting, and I shall be back. Alright, while my parts are drying, I'm also adding a black stripe or black stripes around my bee. So I'm just taking a flat brush and just painting them like that. And then I'm doing another one at the bottom. Just do however many stripes you want to do, as close or as far as you want to do them. But I'm going to finish that. And I use the same brush, and I use the tip of the brush to dip into some black paint and then put the little dots on the body of my ladybug, including the wings. Now there is another part that I need to make, so let me show you how I did that. Alright, so now we need to cut some little pieces so we can form these little antennae. So off the top of your bottle, just cut in maybe about a 1/4 inch in, and then cut out that little edge. You just need a thin little piece of plastic. Cut all the way around. Till you have a strip like that, and then I'm just going to fold it in half and cut it. So I have 2 pieces. These are my 2 little antennae, and then I took one of the edges or one of the ends and then kind of curled it a little bit, kind of pressed it a little bit just to give it a little bit of a curl, just like this one. And of course you will paint them black or whatever color you want to coordinate with your little critter. Alright, so I have all my parts here, and I've already painted and everything has dried. This is going to be my ladybug. So I've got the body, I've got the wings, my little antenna, what's going to be the little head, and the eyeballs here. So before I get started on this, putting it together, I want to decide if I want to actually put a real plant or if I'm just going to put a little artificial plant, or I could actually just use this to drop in some pencils or something, you know, into them. So if you're going to use this for an actual plant, whether it's a succulent or a little seedling, I would poke some drainage holes at the bottom. You know, like 2 or 3 drainage holes in the bottom would be good for that. Okay, so let's get started putting this together. Now, this is a great craft for the kids to put together. You can cut all the pieces out, let them paint it however they want, let them go crazy, let them have fun, do it whatever color they want, and then mom, you could help them, or grandma, dad, whomever you are, you could help them glue it together, or if they're old enough to handle a low temperature hot glue gun, you can allow them to do that. You could also use a stapler to staple the parts onto here. But of course you also have to be careful with that. But I think this is a great craft, especially now with summer coming along. Okay, so we're going to put this together. The first thing I'm going to do is put the wings on it. Now for my little ladybug, I think I'm going to direct my little wings downward. Now, at first I thought I would paint the body black and then do the wings with the red and the polka dot, but I really wanted this to be really colorful. I didn't want it to have too much black. So that's why I decided to go ahead and paint this red and add the little polka dots to it as well. Okay, so I'm going to add on all my little wings. And now this plastic from this bottle is very kind of thin, so you just got to be a little careful with this. So I'm going to put my first wing, and I'm going to kind of put them downward because the ladybugs sort of have them overlapping each other, and they're kind of going either down or, but you know, unless they're flying, they're kind of upward. So I'm going to put mine downward. You can put it however you want. So I'm adding glue to this little tip where I was holding it when I was painting it, so I didn't get much paint on there. So I'm just going to overlap that on top of the other one right there, grabbing any glue webs, just like that. And then I'm going to do the other 2 wings going in the other direction. Now when you're using the Sharpie, I only marked 1 wing, and then I use that as a pattern to cut the other ones. But I really do recommend that you cut around so that you remove the Sharpie line, or if you can just eyeball them while you're cutting them, just do it that way. I can see some of the Sharpie line on mine. I'm not going to worry about it, but just thought I'd let you know. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to go to the next step. So if you're wondering how far apart should you put your wings, try to put them as close together so that the little lid here will cover them. So that's how far apart you want them, where that covers all of those little edges underneath. Okay, so before we put this on, now we're going to go ahead and put some little antenna on there. So in that same space, a little bit of glue. It's kind of better if you let it cool off a little bit and then put your little plastic antenna, because like I said, the plastic is so thin, it gets really soft, and then it kind of wants to almost melt with the hot glue. So there we go, just delicately put them on there and let that dry completely. Okay, so now I'm going to put the little cap, which is the head of my little bug or critter, depending on what you want to turn this into. I think it would be pretty if it was in green and it was a grasshopper, or if you did this to look like an owl or some other kind of bird. That would be really pretty. Okay, I just put glue on the very edge of the cap here because that's what's going to be touching down onto this. And then just press it against the little antenna here. Any glue webs, remove them. And that's that so far. If you want your antennas to go in a different direction, just bend them a little bit. That'll help. Otherwise, I think it looks cute the way they are. Okay, so now I'm going to put some little googly eyes on mine. Now I'm not going to put them straight, try to get them in the center. I'm going to put them off the edge a little bit. Off the edge of the little head a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. And because these little eyeballs have like an eyelid and some lashes, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I direct that in the right way. So look, there's one eye. See how it overlaps a little bit? Okay. I want them to look really buggy. Okay, now the other one. Oh, and that's my kitty. And there we go. Isn't that cute? That's my little ladybug pot. Alright, so there you see my little ladybug. So let me show you what I did with the bee. I put it together just the same way, but isn't it super cute with the yellow and the black and the white wings? They look so cute. Now I can go ahead and use this to put some succulents in there, which is what I would like to do. You don't have to use real plants. You can use some fake or faux plants. Or like I said, maybe use it to put some pencils in there. But there we go. All right, everyone, I have completed my little bugged out planters, and here you go. I have added some faux plants in there just so you could see what it would look like with some items in there. Now, I will recommend that if you do one a little bit tall like this one, and if it's going to be kind of light, I would add some little pebbles in the bottom first before adding your soil, just to give it a little bit of weight at the bottom, because it's a very lightweight plastic, especially these water bottles. So of course it depends on what plastic you're going to use, but of course you want to use something lightweight so that you can cut through it with your regular scissors. So just keep that in mind. But as you can see, you can do some artificial plants in there that look super cute. I'm going to go ahead and pull all this out. All I have is just some styrofoam in there that I stuffed in there, and then I put these little faux plants for now. But I'm actually going to pull that out and actually put some live plants and put them outside. But before I do that, I'm also going to spray them with a clear sealant, something that will help to so the paint won't come off. But as you can see, that's just regular acrylic paint. So if you want to go ahead and seal it, you can use some Mod Podge to seal it, so that'll be okay. All right, everyone. So there you go. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. And please leave a nice comment down below. Let me know what you think. Will you be doing this? What other ideas do you have for these plastic bottles? I think it would be cute to make a little grasshopper or a little fairy or something like that. All right, and thank you to everyone who has been subscribing, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe by hitting that red button and then clicking on the notification bell so that you get notified of when I put up videos, which is twice a week, and once in a while I add a vlog. So thank you to everyone. Share on your social medias, and as always, enjoy.